Action!
This is Ajahn Tim's Mindful Moments. Have you found yourself disappointed? Really looking forward to this trip. What have I ended up with? This is not what I expected. I mean, this is supposed to be a good day out, honestly. Wouldn't I rather be somewhere else, doing something more interesting? Alternatively, I could be visiting my friends at Chithurst. Beautiful place, forest, nice day, perfect. And I could choose this. Then I find out that the Ajahns not here today, and my other friend's on retreat, and there's no one here I know, and suddenly I feel a bit lonely, and perhaps there's something else I could be doing. So then I choose this. It's an interesting place with some pipes, wondering where they go, light and dark, interesting smells. Oh, I could learn a lot from this. This is, well, if I'll choose this, I'll choose a little time in the hole. Could be interesting. In fact, the more I look, the more I see. Yeah, this is great. So if we reflect on what mindfulness is about, then maybe we realize that we set ourselves up. We have expectations. We think, this is what, if I have this works out the way I want it to work out, I'll be happy. And but it often doesn't. And we arrive at place and there's this argument goes on. Yes, it's not what I wanted to have. But there's no peace there, is there? We're always kind of comparing, judging. But this mindfulness business is very simple. It's really about choosing what you've got. It's a sort of recognizing that things are never exactly what you expect them. They're always different. Mindfulness is about being awake, alert, interested. And things are often quite wonderful if you stop and look. Choose what we have. In actual fact, we haven't got any choice in the moment. Happiness, peace of mind or contentment is only now. We only find it now, so we choose this. So I was back at Chithurst and I stopped and think, should I go home? And then, look around, and then the wind blows in the trees and sit down and find happiness is always here. It's not what I came or what I expected. And often it's the things we don't expect are the most wonderful. Like the first time you see something, there's surprise that something's revealed to us. Wow. It's where real joy is. Some years ago, I came upon a little saying, a little phrase, and I have it written on the little notice board in my workshop. And it says, disappointment requires adequate planning. Now, it's a good sign for me because often when I'm working on my lathe or something like that, and I get a tool digs in and my piece of work just explodes or a big lump comes off, or the piece of wood I'm working on decides it's going to do what I don't want it to do, twists in some way, or a little knot appears and I don't want it. And it's like, redesign. Okay, maybe, and it changes. So my plans moving, changing. Disappointment requires adequate planning is a sort of a reminder, isn't it, that says, well, all the time I might make plans, but the adequate planning, when we know that disappointment, when we're making plans and we think that we're expecting something to turn out the way it is. So Nowadays, yeah, I still make plans. I make plans in the workshop. I make plans when I'm visiting. I have ideas, but there's always an openness, a kind of in mindfulness, I would say it's like always expect the unexpected. We choose what we have. It's never, everything's kind of fluid. We're allowing, it's a mind that allows everything just to be as it is. And then, with the adequate planning, if we have a lot of when we kind of, our planning is all around expectation, having a certain way, then yeah, we're often disappointed. But if our plans are very like pencil and changeable, then we're not. I was puzzled the other day. Met somebody. I was talking to somebody who said, "Oh, you do mindfulness, do you?" I said, "Well, one tries, and definitely an interest." And he said, "Oh, yes, I did. I did a mindfulness program, a 8-week program. It was very good." And I said, "Well, how do you practice? What do you do with that?" And he said, "Well, I do my mindfulness every morning for 20 minutes. Every morning I do my mindfulness." I said, "That's very good. But what about the rest of the time?" He said, "Oh, it's very difficult, but I can do it, And it puzzles me. I find it extraordinary. To me, mindfulness is a flowing. There's no doing it and not doing it. It's all part. One can be mindful all the time, whether you're washing the dishes or feeding the cat, or polishing the brass, whatever it is, where mindfulness is a living thing, a flowing thing. And so I use this. I look at these little sayings. Disappointment requires adequate planning. It's a good reminder. It reminds us that all the time we're planning, we're looking to the future, expectations, and then we're living in a world that doesn't fit with that. So to me, mindfulness is a moment by moment, here and now, willingness to explore, to have things revealed to us, and not to have a world full of expectations, full of plans, full of commentaries, and just being. Mindfulness leads us to a presence. It's immediate, it's here and now. It's infinite, it has no time. Timeless, time becomes virtual. Timeless is the real. It's a problem-free zone. There's no decisions to make, there's just being. So I just offer this for your reflection. Maybe true peace of mind comes not from what we have, but from what we know. So, goodbye for now.
Okay, cut.